Haven't you heard Sakamoto is an anime that was made a few years ago now. That was, I think it was aired on Netflix 3 to 4 years ago, or maybe just a bit longer. And it follows a character, Sakamoto, and Sakamoto is definitely a different type of character than you probably would have ever imagined. And it's quite a comedy centric type of anime where it will be much different to what you would normally watch, whether it be martial arts, action, or isekai, for example. And what Sakamoto, haven't you heard Sakamoto, the anime does best is that it almost combines the best side of slice of life and the best side of comedy and brings them together with interesting characters such as Sakamoto himself, because Sakamoto is known to be this character that's quite quiet and he doesn't really say much. He says a few words maybe, but he's kind of a guy that you just you know by his aura what he's about. And I don't think necessarily that's a bad thing, because it's always good to keep a bit of mystery within a character so that you don't know who they are. And because of that, you get to see the fruits of the second MC, who eventually becomes his friend in Kubota. And Kubota is a bit of an overweight guy, and he likes hanging out with Sakamoto because Sakamoto has this aura of invincibility almost, where Sakamoto will not be bullied by the other people. He will not be messed with because Sakamoto is just Sakamoto ultimately, and the bullies that we are talking about tend to prey on the weak-minded victims, and Sakamoto is not that indeed. And that's what I love, because ultimately Sakamoto almost sticks up for Kabuto, or Kabuto. I forgot how you pronounce his name, so bear in mind that. But Kubota, he basically has to lean on Sakamoto and almost learn from him, if you want to put it that way, because Sakamoto has experience of all of this. He knows what it's like to deal with people who are quite arrogant and quite a bit of an asshole in the way they deal with, and it makes for a good duo, And you've got Kabuto's mom as well, who has an obsession with Sakamoto, or the type of guy that Sakamoto is. And them two, or them three, being together alongside the school, it just adds for another layer of entertainment. And Sakamoto, the anime in general, is one of those animes you'd want to put on in the background, or if not in the background, you'd want to put it on when you can just chill out, listen, and just go on your phone or something and watch it, and just genuinely, have some entertainment value to go to bed with or wake up with, because it's not one of those animes that takes itself too seriously, because there are a lot of animes that do that, but haven't you heard Sakamoto is not one of them at all. And I'm kind of glad that it is like that, because there's a lot of animes that I've watched, Black Lagoon, Infinite Stratos, even DxD to a little bit, even though that's a bit of a hit or miss. You can't really say that takes itself seriously. Naruto, Dragon Ball, all these types of animes that take themselves a little bit too seriously, whereas like haven't you heard Sakamoto, it's more to provide more entertainment, more than looking for reasons for the reader or watcher to stay and listen. And ultimately it doesn't overstay its welcome. The characters are just, they're not amazing. Like Sakamoto obviously is the best character, and Kabuta, how you pronounce his name, he is also quite a fun guy, but you get a mixed range of characters, and you get to see the slice of life element of it, the school life of it, and ultimately it is a fun anime, and I recommend it to anybody that wants to watch something that can just provide comedy entertainment, because that's what it is. If I had to recommend similar animes to it, I'd probably go for a Handakun or a Disastrous Life of Psyche. Those two animes and Sakamoto are kind of similar with their MCs, with their plot lines, with their comedic effects. They follow a certain kind of like path, and they don't really stray from it. And ultimately, that isn't a bad thing. I know I keep bringing this up, but it is not a bad thing one bit, and I just want to get that point across, because Sakamoto has definitely differed itself from different animes. Same with Handakun, same with Disastrous Life of Psyche. And you get to see it. The more you watch these animes, the more you get to see it, and that's all you can ask for. Because the plot line in general, there is really no plot line other than from episode 1 to episode, the ended episode, you get to see Sakamoto getting closer to his classmates, dealing with problems, encountering new issues, learning new stuff, and then finishing high school and then moving on, which is rumoured to be said at the end, but you don't get to see it, unfortunately. And I think it would have been quite nice to see him move on, maybe get a job or something, but obviously, as I said, that's only if the anime overstayed its welcome, and ultimately that's all you can really ask for. And yeah, I mean, I only wanted to make this short recap slash opinions and thoughts on Haven't You Heard of Sakamoto, because I really did enjoy the anime, and whilst it doesn't over egg itself and overdo itself and all those above, you know, it was genuinely fun to watch, and I'd rewatch it again in a year, in 6 months time, in 2 years, 3 years, because it does provide some entertainment, and it's one of those shows that doesn't stick with you, but if you remember, or if you have a list and you want to rewatch something, or if you want to watch it for the first time, you will enjoy it. You know, I found that watching it for the second time, the third time, and even the first time was just as fun as each other. And you know, you can't make that up with some animes. You know, there are some animes that are genuinely better when you only watch one episode, or one season, or 2 seasons, or watch the whole series through once. You know, and Sakamoto, ultimately, it's one of those shows you can rewatch over and over again, with an extended break, of course, though. Anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and yeah, peace.